a mock interview, basically for software roles, software SDE roles, software engineer roles, software developer roles. So Anant here will conduct the mock interview, and Sushovan will be acting like the interviewee. So so the idea is to give you an understanding of how real interviews are, and how how you should answer during the interview process, like what are the things to focus on. So yeah, so we'll get right into it. So I think Anant, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi everyone.
Hey Anand, so you can start the interview. Like, so Shovan, you're there, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So Anand, you can get started maybe like with a small asking a small intro about Sushovan, and then proceed to the questions.
Yeah. So hi Sushovan. So I am
Hello.
Anant. So please introduce yourself.
Hello. I am a final year undergraduate student studying in the Department of Mathematics, pursuing an integrated MSc course in Mathematics and Computing from IIT Kharagpur. My interest lies in the areas of software engineering and artificial intelligence. Other than that, I like playing chess, badminton, and table tennis. Also, in my free time, I like to solve algorithmic challenges from various online challenges.
Okay, nice. So what programming languages do you use?
I use C++ for solving competitive programming challenges and Python for development.
Okay. So you have experience in C++ and Python, right?
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah,
Okay.
these are the only two languages which I know.
Okay. So how is your preparation in data structures and algorithms?
You can call it decent.
Decent. Okay. I mean, it should have been a part of your academics as well, I think, since
Yes,
you're from
yes.
maths.
Yes, we had one data structures and algorithms course in second year, and I also took one course in my final semester also.
Okay. So have you solved these problems in competitive coding as well, like lead code? Have
Like
you?
like given a problem, I like to think first I read the problem statement very clearly, then I see all the edge cases and look for some patterns there, and according to the given problem I think of the apt data structure or algorithm that might be useful in such cases
Okay.
as respective to the problem.
Cool. So let us start this interview with some basic technical round. So uh, can you explain what is a linked list?
A linked list consists of blocks that are connected by a chain, that are connected through a chain. So a linked list can be of two types. It can be a single linked list. I mean, it is connected. It is known by a head pointer, and after that, a linked list is like a chain, and the end part of which points to which points to a null pointer, or it can be a doubly linked list or a circular linked list also. So in doubly linked list, the nodes are like connected both ways, and in circular linked list, the nodes are connected in a circular fashion.
Okay. So what is the advantage of using a doubly linked list? I mean, when would we use a doubly linked list?
Let's say we have a hierarchical structure in which we need to know, and let's say we have a parent and a children with us, but in some of the cases we might need to get back to the parent in some of the cases. So in that case,
Okay.
I think a doubly linked list can be useful, like when we like when we need to traverse upwards. So that is the time when we would need a doubly linked list.
Okay, got it. So yeah, so whenever we want to traverse it in a reverse fashion, then
In a
a
reverse,
doubly
yes,
linked list
yes.
is useful. Yeah,
Like
right.
we need to traverse in both ways, left or right, anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So how would you find the middle element in a linked list?
Uh, so I can take two pointers, one is fast and one is slow, and I can increment the fast pointer two places to the right, and I can increment the slow pointer one place to the right. And whenever the fast pointer reaches to the end of the linked list, then the position of the slow pointer will give me the location, will give me the middle of the linked list.
Okay.
Obviously, I need to take care of the edge cases, like if the given length of the given linked list is odd or the given length of the given linked list is even. But I think it will, this solution will give me the middle of the linked list.
Right. You're right. Cool. So, can you explain the difference between quick sort and merge sort? I mean, what is the algorithms?
So in quick sort, in quick sort, the algorithm chooses a pivot, and the element to the left of the pivot are less than that of the pivot, and element to the right of the pivot are greater than that of the pivot. And I continue to do this recursively until until the array is sorted. In merge sort, what happens is a merge sort is a merge sort recursively sorts the array by dividing it into two halves. So first I divide it into two halves. Then after I have divided the array into two halves, and in the base case, like when the array is a single element, then it is already sorted. So when I'm just combining it, I am comparing the two halves of that. Let's say one half is left and another half is right. So I am just merging these two left and right halves so that the resulting array is sorted. So in this case, in this fashion, I am just combining up the solution and and the final solution will be a sorted output. The thing is, for the merge sort, the time complexity will always be order of n log n, and in case of quick sort, the average time complexity is order n log n, but the worst case time complexity is order n square, because if we choose a bad pivot, then the algorithm will always give an order n square solution.
Right. Very nice. Okay, so let's do a small problem now. So so let's say there is an array of some integers, and it has both positive and negative integers. So we need to find the two elements such that their sum is closest to 0. Okay, so I'll send you an array in this Zoom chat. Just a second. Let's say, so for example, this is my array. So I want to find the two integers where the sum is closest to 0. So that will be, you can say the sum of 31 and minus 20, it's plus 11, and 31 and minus 1, it's plus 30. So the last combination, 31 and minus 36, the sum is minus 5, which is closest to 0.
Okay.
Do you understand?
But I can't see the chat.
Okay. I think it'll be somewhere in your Zoom call. If you open your Zoom call.
Okay, yeah. So here it is. Like, yeah.
In this example, this is just an array that I gave you for example.
Okay.
You can use this in your code as well. So you have to find the sum of every two possible integers, all the combinations there. Let's say naive. That will be the naive approach. And
yeah. So that is an order n square. So that is an order n square approach.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another one approach is like. So I have to find a sum that is closest to 0, right?
Right. So in this array, for example, it's 31 and minus 36, right? Which is minus 5.
Yeah,
the sum is minus 5, and that is closest to 0.
Okay, so first approach can be to sort the given integers. So like if I sort it, so it will be like 31.
You can write it down in that text editor. I can see it.
Okay. Okay, fine. So it will be, after I've sorted it, it will be 31, 44, and 56. And later on, it will be minus. Okay, so I'm sorting in minus 36, minus 36, minus 20, and minus 11, right?
Right. Minus 1.
Minus 1 also.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to find. So let's say I pick. So let's say I'm considering the negative end, like the array which consists only of negative elements. So let's say I consider 36. So then, so let's say I consider minus 36. Then I have to find two numbers which are very closest to minus 36. Let's say. So for minus 36, the closest element that I find is 31. Right. So the closest
Okay.
element that I find is 31 among all the three numbers. So I can take the difference and I can store it somewhere. So like so let's say I can store it in a hash map, or which takes two pairs of which one take one pair of indices and another can be the difference which I'm here. So let's say I can take a hash map. So let's say its name is MP, and let's say I have this pair of numbers, integers, minus 36 and their corresponding value. I mean, the corresponding difference is stored to be minus 5.
Okay.
So for minus 20, I can find the nearest element to it. So the nearest element is 31. So I can just store here. For minus 20, it is minus 20 comma 31. It is equal to 9. So for minus 11, the closest element that I found is of course 31 here. So again, what I do is like minus 11 and 31, it will be 20. And for minus 1, again the nearest element to minus 1 is 31. So the difference is 30. So among all, so since I have exhausted all the elements in the negative array, in this negative array, and from the differences I can see that the minimum absolute difference is 5. So this pair 31 and 36 will be our answer. So from the given differences, I need to take the absolute differences first and then find the minimum.
So how are you finding the closest element here? I mean, let's say
So
you
the
choose
closest
minus
element
36.
closest element can be found using binary search. Can be found using binary search. I
But then,
mean,
so what will be the order of this approach? What will be the big O notation?
okay, so
for
let's
this
say the
approach?
total number of elements in the positive subarray is P. If the total number of elements in the positive subarray is P, and the total number of elements in the negative subarray is N, so the approach comes out to be order of big of N log P, right? So the approach comes out to be big O of N log of P.
Okay.
So
So
in the
you had actually sorted as well. So there was n log n sorting as well. So for
yeah
n plus p.
yeah so order of N log N plus order, yeah. So since I sorted, since I no need of sorting, right? So I can just take the positive numbers and negative numbers. So if in case you sort, the complexity will be order of N log M, where M is the total number of elements in there.
Right. Okay. So what happens in the edge case where there is no positive element? Let's say there is no positive element at all.
Yeah, so if there aren't any positive element, then I can take the largest negative number.
The last two negative numbers.
So the two largest negative numbers from this negative array, and then can just add them. Or if there aren't any negative numbers in the array, I can just take the smallest of two positive integers and just add them and just find the answer.
Okay, it's fine. Let me ask you some questions on trees as well. So can you explain what is a binary tree and what is a binary search tree, and what is the difference between these two?
So in a binary tree a binary tree, for a particular node there are at most two children, and they are connected, and binary tree. So that is the example of a binary tree, and there exists a unique path between any two nodes in a binary tree. In a binary search tree, the elements to the left part of the node is lesser than or equal to the value of the node, and the elements to the right part of the node is greater than or equal to the value of the node. So that is the binary search tree.
Fine, you're right. So what is BFS and what is DFS? Do you know about them?
So breadth first. So both are searching techniques. I mean, both are not searching. Sorry, both are traversal techniques in a graph.
Yeah. Okay.
So in breadth first search we use queue-based approach, and in the depth first search we use a stack-based approach. That is the difference between.
Okay.
But both the time complexities are same. order of V, where V is the set of vertices in the graph.
Okay, so can you give me an example? Like, let's take a tree for an example. Let's take a graph for just a second. I'll share it with you in the chat. I shared you a link in this chat. Yeah.
Okay,
So let's
yeah, I
say
got it.
so this is our graph, and we start at the node A. So how what is the difference between BFS and DFS? How in traversal?
Okay, so in DFS first I will visit the node A,
Mhm.
then I will go to C, then I will go to E, then I will go to D, then I will go to F, then I will go to G, then I will go to B. So that is the order of approach
Okay.
in depth
BFS.
first search. And in breadth first search, first I will go to node A, then I will NQ C and B there. So after I pop out C, then I will NQ E and D there. So after I pop out B, let's I so this is a directed or undirected graph.
So this is a directed graph.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's fine. So you're right. You're right.
Okay, so I guess there are no
Yeah.
path from. Okay, so considering it to be an undirected graph, I can telling my
Yeah.
approach.
Okay.
So in the breadth first I will NQ A. After I pop out A, then I will NQ C and B. After I pop out C, then I will NQ E and D. After I pop out B, I can't NQ anything, right? So after I pop out E, I can't NQ anything. After I pop out D, I will NQ F and G, and then I will pop out F and G respectively. So those are the ways in which they will be visible.
Nice. Okay. You're right. Fine. So, I'll just ask you a simple math question here. So what is the maximum number of edges in a directed graph with n number of nodes?
What is the maximum number of edges
Yeah.
in
What
a
is the
directed
maximum number of edges?
graph?
Yeah.
So can it consist of back edges also? I mean, can it consist
Yes,
of
it
loop?
can consist of back edges. Yes.
Okay, so there are n vertices, and I will choose any two of them. So so it comes out to be n choose 2. I mean n into n minus 1 divided by 2. So those are the maximum number of edges.
Okay.
No, that is not the maximum number of edges. That is the uh, so those can be considered using back edges also. And if it consists of loops and other.
No, it doesn't contain loops. Let's say it doesn't contain a loop.
Okay, so it's a directed graph. Yeah, so it will be n choose 2 only. N into n minus 1 divided by 2.
Yeah. N into n minus 1 by 2 is if there are no back edges. So if the nodes are just connected by a one edge, right?
Okay, cool. Yeah, so
So if there
I
are
gave
back
you the answer.
edges,
Oh, it will be n into n minus 1.
it will
Yeah,
be n
so
into n minus 1.
yeah, fine.
So finally, what is a strongly connected graph? Do you know anything about it?
Yeah, so a strongly connected graph is a graph in which there exists at least one path between any two nodes. So that is the definition.
Right.
If you take any pair of nodes, there exists at least one path between them.
Right. Okay. So that means you can also say, like, if you start at any node, you can traverse the entire graph
Yeah,
at any
I can
node. So
traverse the
that is
entire.
a strongly
Yeah.
connected graph. Yeah, you're right. Cool. I think that's all I have. And you were obviously well prepared, so
Okay,
you did well in this interview.
thank you. So can I stop sharing my screen?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think one improvement is in that problem which I gave you, which is the closest sum to zero. So there, you can do a better approach as well. I mean, and that
Yes,
is,
they are
after sorting.
yeah. So I can take a sliding window or a two-pointer like thing, and I can
Yeah, you can take two
just
pointers,
implement.
one from the beginning and one
Yeah,
from the end. And
one from yeah. So one from the beginning and one from the end. So if the sum is equal to zero,
yeah, I
okay. So
mean,
let's say if the sum is equal to zero, then I will just stop because I have
yeah,
already found out the pair. And if the sum is, let's say, greater than zero, I can just
you can compare it with
decrypt.
the previous sum.
Yeah, compare. Yeah,
Otherwise, if it's
yeah,
not zero,
yeah. So I can just traverse leftwards or rightwards.
right.
Okay,
But other
rightwards
than
or
that, I
leftwards
think
into.
you
So
did
that is
better.
the
Yeah.
that is the thing.
Jaren, are you there?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I think
yeah.
we
So
can conclude
uh,
this.
great. So like any other aspect of like the software interview that like you want to cover?
So since this was like a fresher interview, I didn't ask Sushovan about what projects they had worked on and what
Okay,
kind of databases they have used and all.
right.
But if Sushovan, if you have any programming experience, but since you said you've only been solving these problems, not any developed any real world applications, I had not asked you about DBMS and all. But if you
No,
have any experience,
I haven't used DB.
yeah,
Database management systems as such.
yeah,
So I
that
had done
that is
only
that
small.
could be one thing I would ask.
So I am not
Regarding that.
well prepared for system design interviews as well because since I
Okay.
am a fresher. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So since you're a fresher, so I had not asked you that. But for a fresher, I mean, this is what I would any interviewer would ask.
Right. So Sushovan, you recently got placed, right?
yes.
Can you tell us like your experience of like during the interview and like the placement process and like
O-
what they asked and like
Okay.
maybe like
So
small
okay,
things?
I can tell you the entire process. So this year the interview started from 1st December. So it started from 12 a.m. midnight and went on till 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. at night. That was the day. So I got shortlisted for at EXL in day one. Their questions were entirely CV based, and they were asking me some question about the past projects and so on. There's one puzzle and one probability statistics question, and another one was like a guess estimate. So I gave it, and but in round two I was I couldn't make to further round. I mean I was cut short in round two. So in day three I got shortlisted by IDFC Bank, Reliance Jio, and Works application. So the interview process of IDFC Bank was entirely CV based. So they asked me questions about time series forecasting, one-shot learning, about convolutional neural networks, their applications, and so on. Finally, and another interviewer asked me a question about Monty Hall problem, like what was my take on Monty Hall problem, how was it solved, what was the probability, and so on. The interview process of Works application were purely algorithm based. So they had 2 rounds of technical interviews that was taken on a HackerRank live coding platform, and it lasted for 1 hour each. So in the first interview, the interviewer asked me about finding the intersection point of two linked lists, and another one was to find a word. Given a word, I have to search it in a board of characters. Like I am given a matrix of different characters, and I have to find out whether a given word exists in that matrix or not. So the thing was that I can let's say given a cell, I can just traverse in 4 ways. I just traverse in the top, I can traverse in bottom, and left and right. So those are the 4 areas in which I can traverse. So in the second round of the interview, he asked me about grouping all anagrams together. So let's say I have a vector of strings. I have to group all the anagrams together in different buckets. And another one was to find the product of all the elements in an array without itself. And other than that, in between the interviews, they were asking me questions about my CV, what difficulties did I face regarding implementation of some algorithms, and what are the difference between a research internship and an industrial internship, and so on. And the HR was completely okay. And I sat for round one in Reliance Jio. So they asked me both two questions. Both the questions were on dynamic programming. One was to find out the maximum subarray sum, and another one was the edit distance problem. Like I have to convert a string 1 to string 2 by replacing one character, inserting one character, and removing one character. And both the operations had equal cost. So I need to find the minimum amount of cost that it takes to convert a given string to another string. So these are the questions that were asked.
Great, great. So what do you think really helped you in the interviews? Like, what did you do to prepare?
So I have been doing data structures and algorithms since my second year. So like these questions were already being seen, and I just gave the answer pretty quickly. I mean, as soon as the interviewer stopped telling his question, I was able to give him the answer. So I think doing LeetCode and reading articles from Geeks for Geeks on a regular basis will definitely help you to crack these interviews, because most of the questions are already are already being repeated, or a version of already or a different version of already an existing question that are being seen. So other than that, I used to see I used to read the experiences from Career Cup, do questions from Code Signal also. So in Code Signal, what happens is you are given a 10-minute time frame and you have to solve 5 questions. So the 2 are from debugging and the 3 questions can be algorithmic, and their level can vary from easy, medium, or hard, anything. And you have to complete all these 5 questions within 10 minutes. So I advise people to do Code Signal before, let's say 3 or 4 months before their interviews, because it will help you to gain speed. I mean, it will help you to finish the coding challenges very fast. I mean, normally the coding challenges you are given 2 or 3 problems and you are given a time of 1 hour or 1 hour 30 minutes. So if you are very strong at solving, so if you can gain your speed on Code Signal, you will be able to finish all the 3 questions within 30 minutes itself. So it will be very easy for you.
Right. So apart from data structures and algorithms, like you mentioned, they asked about your CV. So how much importance is given to those things?
Yeah, CV matters a lot. I mean, it depends from company to company, but I guess in most of the companies, CV will definitely matter a lot. They will look for internships and the projects that you had done and the technical expertise or the in-depth knowledge that you have gained after doing the project. So they are looking for such things. I mean, just normally writing a code and showing it CV won't help you. They are looking for an in-depth technical discussion from the project that you have done. So I mean, you need to convince them that yes, you have done pretty good amount of work and you know the ins and outs of the particular algorithm, or let's say statistical algorithm that you are applying. You have to explain it to them very clearly.
Right. Have you applied for tried any off-campus interviews?
Right now, I haven't applied for any off-campus interviews, but earlier I did apply. But since I'm a fresher, I guess they rejected me every time. I need some experience in order to stand out there.
Right. So so you have also taught people data structure algorithms in the past. So so I wanted to share with people who are watching this that if you are still preparing for placements and if you want to prepare data structure algorithms and prepare for mock interviews, if you're interested, we have created a Telegram group. It's in the description. You can join there, and we'll share some tips there. And if somebody is really interested to do mock interview, we can arrange one very soon. Great. Okay, Sushovan, thanks a lot for joining in.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon in some other mock interview. So if people are joining and interested in learning DS Algo, we can arrange a mock interview with Sushovan for them. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.
Thank you.